And the fan.
We have a great matchup for you tonight. On your left side, you will see Glenn Moretz wrapping up the front rod as he will be playing offense for Beth Tankersley. That team is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. On the right-hand side, playing offense is Jeff Corfman, recently moved back to Cleveland, Ohio. And his defensive partner is Ken Boyce. And Ken's a great old school player, been playing for a long time, and he's still got one of the hardest shots that I've ever seen. So it's going to be a great matchup between these two teams. This is elimination round. Both of these teams have a loss under their belt. So one of these teams is going to be packing up and heading home after this match. And the other team is going to be skating on to the next round of the Cleveland 1-year anniversary BYP tournament.
Did I put these down? I don't think I did. These might be somebody else's.
It's been a great show so far, ladies and gentlemen. A total of 8 teams, 16 players, and a few left over. Great turnout tonight. This match is going to be played on table 2. We've got 4 great players. Looks like they're just getting ready to serve the ball now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, good luck.
Good one, guys. Go.
All right, and here we go. Looks like Jeff and Ken had won the toss, and they opted for first ball. And Jeff quickly gets it to his 3-rod, and he lines up a snake shot where Beth is there to make the block. And she tries to dish up a pass to Glenn, and it's blocked by Jeff's 5-bar, ends up back on Glenn's 5. And now has it on the 3-bar, getting ready for a shot. And he loses control, ends up back on his 5-bar, but somehow makes it back to the 3-rod, where he's going to take a few extra seconds here to line up this shot properly. And then a quick push shot
Good shot.
leads the score 1-0. Jeff, with a quick brush lane, gets the ball to his 3-bar successfully. Jeff now lining up a pull shot for his second attempt, and he goes down the middle and puts his team on the board. Scores 1-1. Glenn now back on the 3-bar, lining up his snake. Ken Boyce is giving him a lot of action on the defensive zone, and he's able to make a far side block with his goalie man, and the ball is going to fly off the table. Still 1-1 here, folks. Ken with the ball in a defensive position puts a hard shot on net, but there's Beth to make the block. Beth takes a push shot from the back. It doesn't quite make it all the way to Ken's goalie, but it was a nice clear. And there's Jeff again, the third pass right up the lane. Quick brush up the lane. Jeff's first pull shot was denied. He's lining up another. Beth is playing a methodical, slow defense, and she's able to make another block against Jeff. Another pass attempt by Beth up the wall and blocked again. But a lot of those balls are ending up right on Glenn's 5-bar. Wow, and Jeff just takes a extremely fast 5-bar shot that gets through the defense of Beth. And that's going to put Jeff and Ben up 2-2. I'm sorry, Jeff and Ken up 3-2 now. And there's Ken Boyce with a beautiful bank shot out of the back. That's going to put his team up 4-2. Great shot. Glenn's not giving up. He's coming back with some fight with the ball on his 3-rod now. Puts a shot just a little wide off the net. Looks like it hit the wall. And then there's Jeff again with his brush pass. I think that's all he's done yet so far with his passing, and they've been successful on every attempt. And as they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'd say keep dishing that pass. Let's see if he does it again. And he does, but he's not able to connect. And that ball ends up back on Beth's 2-rod, and she puts a beautiful shot on net. Beth is so good back there with her quick release and very methodical defensive style. And it's just a beautiful game to watch. Here we go. So Jeff does take another attempt at brushing in the lane, and Glenn's finally there to make that block. And an unfortunate turn of events for Glenn and Beth as that ball trickles in off the back of her man and ends up in the goal. 4-2 now, Jeff and Ken. Ken's showing bank again. He blasted that last one off the far wall, and it was a beautiful goal. This time he decides to try to take a shot straight up the middle, and Glenn is there to make the block. And there's Jeff again with his brush up to the lane. He's successful that time, and he's going to line up a pull shot. Good shot, but even better block by Beth Tankersley. Beth now in push position from the 2-rod. She goes for a push kick and is just a little wide of the goal. Jeff again going for the brush up. Oh, Beth with a beautiful pass up the wall. Hits Glenn's 3-row, and he's just not able to hang on to it. But he is able to make a block on the 5 and end up with the ball on his 3-rod. He's going to need to put this ball in here if he thinks he's going to come back and win this game. That's a nice shot by Glenn. He goes push side, but Ken's there to make the block. Ends up back with the ball, and he goes pull side this time and gets by Ken's defense. And it's now 4-3. We've got a game here, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff now taking his time and finally going down towards the wall. Glenn makes that block, but quickly there's Jeff again with that brush up to the lane, looking to finish off this first game. And Jeff goes push side and finishes off the first game 5-2. It's a good effort on both sides. I think that Beth, okay, so it looks like they're going to switch sides. I think Beth and Glenn need to take a second here to discuss a little bit of strategy now that they've played that first game. Maybe someone can talk about how, that brush up is coming. So maybe Beth, as a defender, might notice that and say, hey, Glenn, keep your guy out there in the middle. See if he keeps going for that pass. Obviously it looks like he can go to the wall just as easily, so it doesn't make much of a difference where he's at. But again, this is a mind game. This is mind over skill in most matters when we get to this level of foosball. Glenn now with the first attempt goes with a pull side Euro, and that was just a wicked hard shot. But Ken as solid of a defender as he is, was just there to make that block. And now that shot was just nasty. I mean, Ken just comes and blocks one of the hardest Euro toes I've seen in a while. Comes back and just rips a hard bank off that far wall. And Beth, I don't think even knew where that ball went, to be honest. And that's saying something, because Beth is one of the better defenders that we see on these tables. And you can tell by her game here. Perfect time to make that beautiful pass up to Glenn. I don't think he could not have caught that ball. It was beautiful. And then he makes a great shot. Looks like a little bit of a mixed execution, but he gets the ball in between Ken's men, and Jeff didn't like that. He got the ball right in the serve position, touched two men, and blasted it down the middle. That's the second time he's done that in this series. And so Ken now takes a little bit too much time, and he ends up losing the ball over to Glenn's 3-rod, where again he'll go for that Euro toe, pull side, and Ken was there again to make the block. Ken's happy to have that ball back now. He's looking at bank shots, looking at the bank. Now he changed his mind, went for a pull shot, a quick off-the-roll pull shot, and Glenn was there to foos him, stuff him down the middle, and put the ball back in Ken's own goal. It's a beautiful play by Glenn as an offensive player there, playing some offensive defense. That was really nice D by Beth there. Jeff waited her out and waited for that push side to open up, which it did eventually, and it always does. And he was able to time it perfectly and make that shot. Ken now, from the defensive position, put a push shot on goal, and Beth was there to make the block. Beth makes a clear attempt, and it ends up on Jeff's 3-rod. Jeff took a very nice Euro pull, and Beth was there to make an even better block with just the very tip end of her man. Ken likes to take his time back there with the ball. He'll typically, oh my goodness gracious. His time pays off. He did a rolling bank shot off the far wall again, and it's almost unstoppable. Glenn and Beth don't quite know what to do with that. I can't say that I would either. I'd say it's one of the hardest shots in the game to block. And that's why we see, at these big tournaments, we see... Nice shot, Glenn. So Glenn's going to go quick Euro toe push side. Caught Ken off guard there, and it looked like he got in between both his men. And keeping his team in this game and in his tournament. Because, again, this is elimination round. If they lose this game, it is all over for Glenn and Beth. So they're really on the ropes here. Ken's going to call a timeout. Like I was saying before, the bank shot is probably one of the hardest shots to block in the game, in my opinion. You don't quite know where it's going to come. I mean, when you're blocking somebody's straight shot, you're able to line up a little bit. You kind of know where it's going to go if you can get there in time. Okay, so if you can beat them there with speed, you should be able to make the block. With a bank shot, there is no rhyme or reason. I mean, depending on where that ball banks off the wall, it could go in any part of the goal. And it's a very scary feeling as a defender, not knowing where to be honest. And Beth is, like I said, she's one of the best defenders. I mean, look at the way that she defends against this snake shot. She doesn't have erratic speed. She has the slow, methodical style, and it's very effective. And there's Beth. Oh, jeez, and there it is. Jeff just, after every single goal, Jeff did a 1-2 punch from the 5 bar, and he finishes him off in 2 games. It doesn't look like Beth is too happy about that last shot. It came in pretty quick, I'll be honest.
I mean, if that's what he's got to do in a 5-bar half, then that's what he's got to do.
It was a close game up until then. I was listening to the volume. I really wanted to take I might want to look at that last goal and just to make sure that everybody was set and ready, and there was, at least a second taken after Glenn said ready, because that was awfully fast. It was a good shot, don't get me wrong. I probably wouldn't be so happy if I was standing on the other side of the table of that either, especially being elimination round and the game being as close as it was and them being up 1-0. There's a lot of different factors why I think that shot needs to be reviewed. And that's a lot of the reason why now we tape a lot of these matches. You can't always have a referee there present during these matches. So when we tape them, if there is any kind of discrepancy on a call or a play, or if the ball, went into the goal and came out, people weren't sure, we can always go back and review this footage, even slow it down if need be, to determine the correct call, because we want to make sure that all calls are being called correct and efficiently. Okay, well, that's that. Jeff and Ken winning that series in 2 games and in an interesting fashion. All the players on the table played fantastic. Everyone put their game in, and we saw a little bit of everybody's game here. So it's a good match to watch. It looks like Glenn and Beth will be eliminated from the tournament. Okay, thanks for watching, folks. Have a good day.